Right now on the dark web, your stolen credit card is worth roughly $20. But your medical info sells for more than 10 times that amount, roughly $250. The problem is, if your medical records do get taken, there's a good chance that you're not even gonna find out for years, when the full damage is likely irreversible. But why? Why would a modern hacker ignore the thing that lets them drain your bank account or max out your credit? Why do they even want your x-ray, diagnosis, or medical records? The answer actually goes beyond money. And in this video, we're gonna take a look at a few examples of these crimes and how artificial intelligence might actually escalate them to a whole new level. Let's dive in. In late 2023 in Phoenix, Arizona, following a leg surgery at Banner Hospital, Jennifer O'Connor got an outrageous hospital bill in the mail. The bill for the surgery was $217,000. That's a ridiculous amount of money for a surgery, but the most shocking part was that Jennifer never got surgery. She was at the hospital at the time, but she was working her shift as a respiratory therapist. Then she looked through the mail and she got other bills too. $32,000 here, $9,300 there. If Jennifer's credit card had been stolen, it likely would have been maxed out and flagged by her bank, limiting the losses. But because we don't have a central repository for all of our medical records, the person who stole Jennifer's identity racked up over $500,000 in care across multiple hospitals between 2022 and 2024. And she didn't get caught until Jennifer went to the media. How is this even possible? Well, in a real medical emergencies, hospitals treat patients first, and then they're gonna verify identities afterwards. So if somebody has another person's personal and their medical info, like Jennifer's name, date of birth, insurance, medical history, they can effectively impersonate that person. Hospitals assume a patient is who they say they are because there's no real-time system to check identities across the entire healthcare network. And for the victim, this is an absolute nightmare because they have to contact every single hospital where the thief actually got treated. What's worse, unlike a stolen credit card, medical identity theft does more than just cost money. It can also corrupt your health record. In Florida, when a woman named Lynn Weaver suffered a heart attack, her nurse asked her if she had taken her diabetes medication. She didn't have diabetes, but the woman who stole her medical identity did. And had she been unconscious and unable to respond to this nurse, she may have been given unnecessary medication, potentially harming her. Hackers are pivoting from their old tactics. A credit card theft today is the equivalent of a smash and grab because banks can basically turn off that credit card at the first sign of a suspicious charge. But because the US healthcare system is a fractured web of silos, medical records are a slow burn. A thief can inhabit your identity for years while you have no idea. Frankly, most hospitals lack the real-time monitoring that modern banks have. Until now, the main bottleneck for these criminals has been the mirror test. They walk in, they don't look like you, the hospital knows what you look like, and they're caught. But AI is just starting to make this issue irrelevant for them. In 2025, the US government charged 324 people in a massive healthcare fraud sweep. Tied to more than $14.6 billion in fake claims to Medicare and Medicaid, criminals used stolen Medicare data and telemedicine platforms to get doctors to approve tests and prescriptions for patients who had no idea that their information was being used. That was no doubt a big win for federal prosecutors, but modern fraud is moving beyond stolen data and into the realm of synthetic identities, which is much harder to crack down on. In late 2024, an optometrist named Dr. Joseph Allen discovered over 100 AI-generated videos across social media that used his exact face and voice to sell unregulated miracle eye drops. The deepfakes were so convincing that they actually used his specific speech patterns and mannerisms, successfully tricking thousands of patients into believing they were receiving legitimate medical advice. And something similar occurred in the fraud sweep. Investigators uncovered falsified consent recordings where AI was used to mimic the voices of both patients and doctors to bypass verification checks during telemedicine calls. And the barrier to entry for this level of deception is essentially vanished. Companies like 11 Labs and HeyGen can clone a human voice with just 3 seconds of audio from, let's say, a voicemail or even a YouTube video. This technology could definitely compound the problem beyond what the healthcare system is equipped to handle. Right now, verification relies on a one-to-one human check. A doctor or a clerk verifies identity based off what they see on a screen. But AI can scale this beyond a one-to-one check. A single operator could use AI to wear hundreds of different stolen faces, launching a huge volume of high-definition fraud that would bury oversight teams. We spent the last few decades focused on protecting our digital financial assets, and banks have learned that if they can keep your money safe, they'll probably keep you as a client. By focusing on real-time monitoring and behavioral AI, they've largely managed to meet progressing fraudsters where they are. We now need that same standard for our medical institutions, forcing a fractured healthcare system to defend our medical data as aggressively as banks defend our wallets. And we need to start treating our medical info like the high-stakes asset it really has become. If you or anybody you know has dealt with medical record theft, I've left some resources in the description. If you found this video interesting, you'd like to see more like it in the future, please consider subscribing. This is Tyler Dutchover. Thanks for watching.